Oh, welcome back to part 2. Well, I've just saved that in truck tools. All cities, and it's still calculating the route. I'll drive a little bit, see what happens. But I did fix my truck while I was in there as well. That's a program called Truck Tools, where I couldn't find the services, could I, So,
drive safe.
Let's give it a... Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fixed it. Lovely. I wonder if that had done that if it had just come out onto the road in the first place, but never mind. Oh, it's much better. Oh, my truck's repaired. See a bloody services now. 8 hours to the job.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
Right, we're just gonna go here. Okay, what's me weight? 15 ton again. Paper this time. I'm going to Walmart Megastore. Get over. Jesus, now I've fixed me truck, I can bypass it. Now, when I first started playing ATS, I used to stop them all. I don't know whether you get a fine or something, or I've turned them off. I know I've turned speed off and all that, but I thought you'd get something at the end. Started bypassing them. There's a mod, I think, to turn them off. But I'd rather have them on. You know, if you can just bypass them. Messing with the map. Yeah. Ugh. He comes out and he comes in. Jesus. Well, it's pretty flattish up to now. Should have a look at that view. That's the end of the world up there, and I just go flying off it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's so fine. It's happy hour again. I think it could be happy, but I wouldn't be my man. Another place to be. Happy never finds out. What a good place to be. It's happy hour again and again and again. It's happy hour again. Good little song. What's happened to him? When you think of bands and longevity, you know, I mean, look at the Rolling Stones. Oh my God. They just keep rolling out. I mean, but that's a great success, isn't it? You know, the Beatles split. Which was a shame. Well, you know, I think John wanted it, didn't he? But, you know, must have crippled Paul. It's horrible when that happens. You've got no say in it. But, you know, you could be like the Stones. You know, they've just done it because, to me, they're like a copy band, aren't they? You know, of all the old bluesy type stuff, and, you know, the Beatles are more experimental and groundbreakers, you know, where, you know, the Rolling Stones weren't. Not to me, anyway. Totally different league. But, you know, they've had all them years in the limelight, the adulation. You know, it's like when the Beatles split. I think George, Ringo must have felt it like, you know, they couldn't be bothered really, wanting the break. But Paul, he was the driving force of that band. And if it wasn't for him, you know, most of the albums wouldn't have been made, and they admit that, you know. And in the end it became the Paul show, I think, which created a bit of animosity. But he had the drive, so let him run with it. You know, can't complain, can you? And Paul's just been one of them people that likes to, you know, be there all the time. You know, it's like our bass player, Ian. He has that drive. Good on him, you know. Or there might have been like a George or a John. You know, some people, they go, been there, done it. Getting a bit stale, it's getting a bit, you know, it's great when you were younger and the travelling and the adulation and being together all the time. You know, if you can stay friends throughout it all and really enjoy it. But I think once families, you know, great when you're single and that, but you've got families and other things on your mind rather than just being a single unit and enjoying the moment. Nothing lasts. Imagine if they stayed together. What other albums? Because, you know, without each other, it just wasn't the Beatles sound, was it? You know what I mean? Paul done some great stuff, but it, you know, without them Georgia licks and the John there, you know, it just was not the same. Same as John on his own, you know, it's just not the same. George done his own stuff because I think he was a bit limited in the band. You know, John and Paul were the leaders. Well, John was the leader. And Ringo, I think Ringo was just grateful. You know, he sat at the back, kept his mouth shut, getting his paycheck. As you would do, wouldn't you? Ringo, luckiest man alive. You know, but he deserved his place in it. In that lineup. Yeah, definitely. But so fortunate. You know, poor Pete Best. You know, they went down to London, and from what I know is the producers were saying to them, oh listen, the drummers, you know, can't keep in time and that. But, you know, I just think the people they were dealing with, they were using session drummers all the time, and especially like George Martin, you know, using real professional musicians. And he had to be told that, you know, you're out. And the biggest crime of all, I believe, whether that's true or not, is that when they got Ringo in, he ended up using a session drummer anyway, for the first maybe one or something like that. You know, because they never had perfect timing. Yeah, have to look into that. So the unluckiest man alive was Pete Best. And Ringo was the luckiest. Yeah, it's funny, you know, you can look at bands and say, well, do you know what, it wouldn't matter if, you know, one of them wasn't there. But they all needed to be there for the Beatles. I mean, George's guitar licks and that, intros, little solos and all that, so integral in the sound and the music, you know. You know, Paul, I think, laid down a lot of melodies and that, harmonies, John writing, as well as Paul, a little bit raunchier. The gel was just perfect. Happy accident. And you'll get that, it's like some bands, you know, like Simon and Garfunkel, you know, we all know what Simon and Garfunkel is and what they sound like and what they're great for. And then you do stuff on your own, it's just never be the same. Not that you're trying to be the same, but you've lost that. But at least if you're not the same, it's very rare, it's like, oh my god, that's gone one step better. You know. Or, you know, some bands try to transition because, you know, they think, well, the Beatles done it. It's just the Stones never. And look at the longevity on them. But like the Beatles did, they transitioned, and it's very rare to get a bad Beatles song. You know, you might listen to someone today and they've got an album, they go, that's the number one. And the rest are just unmemorable, you know. Nothing. But the Beatles just come out with some incredible songs, one after the other, incredible melodies, lyrics, solos, drumming,
Keep left.
masterpieces. Very, very hard to do. But to them it would have been easy. It wouldn't, you know, of course they're trying and that, but it would have just been natural. You know, it wasn't something they were working at in a way of like copying someone, or it's just who they were. They weren't reading a format or trying to do this, that and the other. You know, it's just what come out of them probably didn't realise how good they were, because if you're there and that's you, you don't know any difference. And someone could ask you the questions, how do you do that? You say, well, just do.
Go straight
There's
on.
nothing
and then
special
keep
to
right.
it. Nothing. It's just what you do.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Well, you'll get people who want to emulate people.
Keep left.
Well, it's a bit like Elvis. There is a singer, and Elvis actually just emulated him. Black fella. When you listen to this black fella, I can't even think of his name, and it's Elvis. Well, Elvis is in. Yeah, so sometimes you've just got it and it just works. And if you've got it and it works, you're not even working at it. You're just doing it and it's nothing to you. I think it helped with Paul because his family were musical and some old time stuff, you know what I mean? And I think Paul knew a lot of old melodies and you know like using descants, tones and all that. I mean, you look at some of the Beatles songs, Maxwell Silver Hammer, Oh Bloody Bladder and all that. I mean, if I went with the band members and said, I've got this song, Desmond had the barrow in the Maggie plate, they'd go, what the hell is that? Or Oh Bloody Bladder. They'd just go, they'd laugh at you. You know what I mean? But you've got to try everything. And good songs, it usually is basically all about filling it in, colouring it in. As you could write a song on guitar and then it's adding them other layers, when to pull back, when to stop, how much to put in, to colour it all in, you know, to come to the end point. A bit like a painter, you know, knowing when to stop. Yeah, they were lucky because they had George Martin as well, and you know, the best band in the world, so they were just left to their own devices. You know, a lot of bands, they were contracted to a label and they were told what to do. Alright, we want this, we want that. Well, Elvis was the worst example of that, wasn't he? Lennon said everything he done. But even, believe it or not, Queen, another outstanding act. You know, their label wants to restrict them. You see, labels want to make money and they just want a 3-minute pop tune that the young kids and the girls will scream at, because they know that's a format that works and it brings in money and they don't want to change. But in a band, you know, the Beatles were like that when they started out, you know. You want to do something better, like, Queen actually went in with the Bohemian Rhapsody, and I think their label was just fuming. No, it's not getting released, or something like that, as I remember. Oh, no way. And I think a local radio station was playing it. Next thing, it's like the biggest song ever. You know, so when you're working for people who are just money men and saying we want, you know, 3 albums a year, 3-minute pop songs for young girls to scream at and fall in love with you, you know. Yeah, it's a way to make money, but who wants to stay like that? A bit like YouTube. I mean, they had a sound, didn't they? And their sound was the guitarist, the edge. You know, that's what really sort of made the difference in my mind. And, you know, the Joshua Tree, first couple of albums, that's their stamp. That's them. And then I suppose we'll have to change to the modern times and start to be more electric or something. I just didn't listen to the rest of it. It just wasn't them. You know. Sometimes it just doesn't work in my eyes, but, you know, they're still like massive, aren't they, you know. When I say not working, I don't mean not for them or anything, but it just goes too far away from them, from what their sound was. A bit like Crowded House, they were the same, you know. They had a sound, a fantastic Crowded House, fantastic songs and that. And then, you know, when Neil Finn is doing his own stuff and that, and it's just not the same. You know, with the harmonies and all that. Just you know, you had a format and a sound that works. A bit like the Beatles, you know, again. You know, that was the one sound that makes the Beatles, although, you know, Paul with Wings done well. You know, some good songs, but they were never Beatles songs. John Dunn is more political and more thoughts to them and that. Which was nice. George come out with some fantastic songs. Here Comes the Sun, what a song.
Keep left and then exit left.
But, you know, that's George, innit? It's just it's quite simple, rolling round the key of D. But all them little changes, you know, in the key of D just makes it, and that's George. It's a bit like another one that's great like that around the key of D or in the chord of D. Fantastic was what's it called?
Exit right. Keep right.
There she goes, the Lars. There she goes.
Get ready.
There she goes again. She calls my name, calls my name.
Exit right.
But I can't tell you. But what a great little lick around the D.
Turn right and then turn
Sounds
right.
rude, that, doesn't it? But you know what I mean.
Turn right.
Fantastic.
Get ready to turn left.
Anyway, enough of that. They're only my own opinions and thoughts, of course. You know, other people.
Turn left.
Oh, well, think differently.
Get ready
And
to
that's
turn left.
perfectly okay. It's like my daughter, she loves
Turn
heavy
left.
thrash metal. That's horses for courses, isn't it? You know, I don't mind it, like,
You
but
have arrived at your destination.
it's something I'd listen
Your
to
route
all the
guidance
time.
is now full.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay, let's go. Oh, let's go a bit. Walmart. Well, I've never been to a Walmart before. Not that I can think of, anyway. Okay. Da da da. Whoops. Where are we? I want to get used to just using the mirrors. I'm finding it hard though, because I can barely see it. I'm sort of guessing, which is not bad a guess up to now. Especially when I lose it there, because that other little mirror probably gone too much there. I cannot see out of. Yeah. Let's have a look, yeah. Okay. Uh-oh. Hit that. Ba-bum. Oh. Now. Still out of it there. Saying like, well, not nice the front, or I could tidy it up. Well, I'm gonna leave it. Okay, engine up. Detach. Come on, multi-stop dispatch companion. Can
The
you
current
do it?
delivery
Yeah.
has been completed.
Okay. So the next one, Quebec to Saguenay. Again, I don't know. Let's have a look. How far is it? Map. I can't do it yet. I've got to get this off. So look. Let me do it. Let me get into the map there. So I'm meant to saying there. Fort Son, nothing. Offer expires. It doesn't give me the mileage, does it really there? Standard delivery. I can change the trailer if I want. Okay. Trip distance, 132 hours 31, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, take job. It's nothing, is it? Yeah, okay. Isn't it good? Isn't it sad? Just knocked the button there, I don't know what I've done. On the wheel. Another bad one. It's rushing it.
Let's do this.
Two and a half hours. Whoa, look at that. A big airy. Must be there.
Turn right.
I am going to Boeing as well at a job. Oh look,
Get ready to turn right.
Ferris wheel. Would have been nice if it was going, wouldn't it?
Turn right.
Massive.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left. Get ready to exit right.
Wow. The aeroplane.
Exit right.
Must be the runway just there. There somewhere, do you think?
Go straight on.
Have a quick look on the map. See if I can see a runway or something. Oh, it's not near. The hell? Looked like it would just come up there, didn't it? Now I am going to Boeing. Oh, anyway. Drive your poos. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine.
Keep left.
You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away. Bum, 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 bum. 8:40. So I think, and I don't know whether it probably will make me late for my next job, but I don't want to be driving through the night. You know, I want to see the place. I usually forget anyway, because I'll probably call this end of part 2. But I need to park up, drop the job off, have a sleep. Well, drop the job off, have a sleep. That's if the job's still there then. Or take the job, then have a sleep. I think I'll do that just in case. Then if you had another job, is that one gone? Harley Davidson there. Ba 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 ba. What a song that was. Nolan sisters. That's who it was. Just a song women loved, a great song to sing along to. It's great if you had one-hit wonder in it, you know. You just bring out one song everybody loves, and you make a living out of it. I'll tell you what, not that he's a one-hit wonder, but Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline, my God, just sang everywhere in it. Sweet Caroline, I think that's what's important, that do, you believe it never will. Oh, da da dee, da da da. Din din din. So important that bit was in. That's the colouring in bit I'm talking about. Take that bit out, it's not the same song. If you can write a song where people, you know, chant out or shout out something, you know, that's always a good thing as well. Deacon Blue,
ready to turn right.
Another fantastic band. They come out with some fantastic songs. You know, really good songs. Good writing, good melodies, lyrics. Queen of the New Year, what a great rolling song, really good.
Keep right and then turn right.
You know, and the most famous one, when we used to do that one, Dignity, you know, people love to sing it. Great anthem of a song. And you get songs like that that become anthems.
Ready to turn right.
Nice to write something like that.
Turn right.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Finally, we are here.
Let's have a little look out here, eh? Oh, look, there's the flight tower. Unless it's... No. Fighter jet. Okay. Oh, it's done that right in front of a plane taking off. You bugger. Yeah. Nice. So that's the runway. So that is a flight tower, yeah. So I'm inside here. But, backing in here, but yet I'm not now. Ow. Oh. Yeah. Is that the runway I'm gonna go on? It is! Oh my God. I'm going on the bloody runway. One's at the back. I'll have to watch them spawn there. You can have it all your way. There's one here, look. I wonder if it'll go and go through me. I'll be waiting for me to go. Wow. No, it's going. Well, just starts flying straight away. Bit weird. Well, that was unusual. Am I in the plane wing there now? Yeah. Oh, that'll do. Nice. Come along, multi-stop dispatch companion.
The current delivery has been completed. Your final load has been assigned.
Thank you. So, let's see, final load. Sarganay to Labrador. How long is it? Can't see no time on that. I'd have to probably change it. Current company job offers. This one here. 8 hours. Okay, looks a bit straight and boring like, but I'm gonna call at the end of, what was that, part 2? Then we'll do that one. And then, okay. I'll see you in a bit. Take care.